Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Olele Salvador Network OSN, and my name, of course, is Olele Salvador. And today we are back again with another DTS intelligence episode. And this episode is going to be focusing on the just ended 25th anniversary of the Telecel Ghana Music Awards, aka TGMA. Well, now TGMA. We're going to take our time and look into some aspects of the the events, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens and whatnot. We're going to be looking at the red carpet, show start time, stage live production, performances, award winners, so on and so forth. But hey, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like the video and share if it tickles your fancy. I would be very much honored and humbled to see you guys do that. Let people know about the great work we've started here at the OSN or at the Olele Salvador Network. And of course, I'll be glad to give you a shout out or a holla anytime I see you in time or anytime you reach out to me on my various social media platforms. Olele Salvador is a social handle you want to follow on all social media platforms. And let me know what you think about our episodes and some of the topics we touch on in the comments below. Okay, thank you very much. Now let's get into the conversations. Over the weekend, that was obviously June 2024, the biggest night of Ghana music was held once again at the Grand Arena inside the Accra Conference Center. And some of us had the opportunity to be in attendance. Celebrities, your favorite, my favorite celebrities, industry persons, board members, academy members, spectators, fans of the various or from the various fan bases of fan groups, including regular casual fans of your various favorite artists or the various favorite artists. They came to support in one way or the other. Now we arrived, or I arrived at the venue just a little bit over 8 p.m. And of course, I got the opportunity to park at the State House, where most of us were given the opportunity to park there. It was very spacious and something they do every year. Very spacious, very secure, very safe for anybody at all who was coming or who was coming to the event and would want to drive in or park. I've seen some people like to park just around the conference center, either by the walls of the conference center or find a very, um, to the best of their discretion, safe place to park their cars. As for that, I can't really speak much on that because you know what is safe to you. But regardless, I don't think I've ever been to um, the Ghana Music Awards and I've heard concerns about safety or I've heard concerns about someone being robbed or someone's car being broken into. Not that I've heard of. Maybe if you know, let me know in the comments. So we got there, obviously had to go through security. Now, when you park your car at or when you arrive at the conference center and you go through the main door or the main gate that leads you to the conference center, you'll be met with barricades. Okay, there are barricades there that obviously would have to be the first point of check or first point of scanning of your ticket. Now, when you go past that check or that security check, you are now making your way into the Grand Arena or where the Grand Arena Dome is situated. And there you will see beautiful tent set up, especially for this year. I noticed that they set up a red room differently from what it were in the previous years. This red room was going to serve or did serve as the entertainment room for, I think, invited guests, VIPs, and some board and academy members. So you go past that and then you take your turn to the left, and then you are met with the main entry into the Grand Arena. When I say main entry, this is just outside on the outskirts of the tent where you meet two entrances. Now on your left, you find people who are supposed to be VIP, VVIP, and board members, I think, and special guests as well. And then on the other hand, you have people who have premium regular tickets, and even at some point in time, you had to allow some VIP members use that part of the entrance. Now, as for me, I obviously had to go through the premium entry because that was what I was given in terms of an invitation, and I used that. But when I got there, the place was choked. It was really, really congested, really, really, really congested. And I think moving forward, if possible, there should be another avenue created to allow the ease of passage or the ease of entry or access for high profile guests. Because imagine having to deal with, other people in the sense that these are high profile. I'm talking about ambassadors, diplomats, and so on and so forth, and they've had to, meander their way through to come into the place. I'm not saying that was a situation all throughout. I'm saying that at some point in time the place got really, really congested. However, tickets were checked, passes were checked, security did make sure they did their job, passed through everything, make sure that anybody who was in the yard obviously had a ticket to be inside the yard. Now, as soon as you go past the entry point, you are going to be met with what you and I know as the red carpet. Now, the red carpet obviously is a place where you have I almost said it's a carpet, but a red carpet is actually the avenue where you see your favorite celebrities or your favorite personalities, be it in media or music, entertainment, whatsoever, even politics, have the opportunity to take some pictures, have the opportunity to tell us about who they are wearing, have the opportunity to tell us what they're expecting. And that, of course, was no different this year. They did that. They went for some obviously, in their shine, bling, bling clothes. I'm not really a fashion police. I'm not going to spend too much time on what people were wearing or how they were wearing. Y'all saw it. Y'all be a better judge of what you saw. But I did see some amazing outfits being put together by some, local artisans or local fashion designers, which I want to say shout outs to for those of you who trusted your local fashion designers to pull up for you. And I've always maintained that in terms of the red carpet, once again, the red carpet took so long and I wasn't even watching this production from home. I was there and I witnessed an extension, an elongation of the red carpet production. I've always maintained that the red carpet needs to be produced as a show on its own, so that the kind of focus, the kind of discipline, the kind of creative direction whatsoever given to the main show could equally be given to the red carpet, just so that we do not waste the time of the viewers, or we do not even waste the time of those who have come in to see the main show. Don't get me wrong, the red carpet is very important for shows like this. I mean, even at the BETs, you see it, at the Grammys, we see it. But you notice that the time allocated for red carpet productions, it is it is carefully curated with near perfect precision or finesse to make the viewer at home warm up to the main product or the main meal. Okay. So I've always maintained, I've said this many times on various platforms, that the red carpet, even the people who come on to be interviewed or to be spoken to. So I'm just saying that our red carpet productions, need to be treated with such finesse so that they start on time and they finish on time. Now we do know that we're going to have a bunch of media people on the red carpet. Once again, this is what I think. I think that the media should be given slots across the red carpet. Okay, so have a straight line. You have a straight line, and out of that straight line, you have each media house positioned according to. Okay, progressively, you could start from the left to the right to the right to the left. You have them X on their position. So you put maybe, for example, Adom FM here, UTV here, 3FM here, TV3 here, GTV here, Metro TV here. They are lined up with their cameras facing, the various angles of the board or of the background that would allow for interviews. Now, celebrities, artists, whatsoever, need to pre um serve a pre-notice of who they want to talk to. And I'm throwing this out to the managers. I'm throwing this out to even the producers if they think it's a great idea. Let people let your personalities or the celebrities that are coming, you know, say who they want to talk to. That way it is beautifully curated, it is beautifully presented. You don't have to talk to all of the media houses, especially when it's a live show. You don't have to talk to you don't talk to all the media houses. You want to talk to media houses that you want to talk to, not because you got there and you got caught up by surprise. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that way it would be able to take out the unnecessary parts of the red carpet that seems to take forever to take us into the main show. But anyways, now we finally got into the auditorium, and as at what 10 something, and the show hadn't started. I think it took off around 10:23 when Kim Promise obviously opened the show. And my let's just say that night wasn't his lucky night. Let's just say that. For those of you who watched it back home, I'm sure many of you had issues with the sound and whatnot. And for those of us who were in the auditorium, we witnessed it live. And I think we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation about, first of all, about production. Telecel Ghana Music Awards, the TGMAs, or the Ghana Music Awards, as announced or as known by many of us, is 25 years. Charterhouse have been producing these awards for 25 years. Listen, I don't know why we still can't get it right with the sound. I don't know. When I got into the auditorium, what really caught my eye was the stage, the lights, amazing, screen work, brilliant. The LEDs were popping, stage beautifully put up. You know, like I said, the lights were on point, place was chilled, seating arrangement. When I got in, I was like, but look, it worked out perfectly, worked out just fine, especially for cinematic purposes. But the sound, which is the most important thing that really carries the finesse of the production, for some reason, 25 years on, and we have to complain about this over and over again. Now, it makes me wonder if it's a conversation about expertise, lack of talent, absence of skill, lack of resources. I'm not too sure. But I think it's about time we look at ourselves again. Because if this event happens to be Ghana's music biggest night, and we are starting late, our sound is not great, then it's a problem. Kim Promise will be the lab rat to open the show. And those in production will tell you that often when you are the first act to open the show, they would use you as a lab rat to get everything right and to fine tune it because they're not too sure what the night will bring, right? So if you are the first to come on, you're most likely going to bite, the challenge. But let me talk about Kim Promise a bit. He had a very challenging start. There were some times uh, in the what you may call it in his performance where he was off key, flat notes, and most importantly, what I noted was he was out of breath at some point in time. You could literally hear him punt through the music, and I think that wasn't a good look. I've seen Promise perform before. I've seen him, grow into the artist he's become today. And Promise is a performer. He is a performer. Don't get me wrong. In fact, anybody who has followed Promise's journey will tell you that Promise is a performer. And so I'm not too sure what went wrong last night. The sound obviously had its issues, but Promise himself as an artist really had a struggling start. The start was very, very worrying, you know. And luckily for him, I'll say, as it were, I was happy to see him recover just before the set ended, just before that, And I will say this. I mean, I know Promise loves to dance. He loves to extend and amplify his aura through the music, through the performance. But I think that until he's able to blend it properly and not let us catch the wind of the fact that he's losing breath or he's losing, control over his voice, especially when he wants to sing and, do the catch and stuff like that. Until then, I think Promise should just stick to the singing. Just stick to the singing and let the rest of the dancers do the dance for us. Or if you want to dance, just dance for a few, just a few seconds or a few moments of it, and give us a singing because people love you for your singing. Okay, so I think it's something that he needs to check. Um, All African Games, I saw what he did there. It was still, it was still somewhere there. I saw the same performance at the mobiles. The mobiles wasn't really too encouraging as well. So it's becoming a trend and a pattern. I think his team needs to check that, just so that we don't lose that side of him that many of us know him to be great at. Okay, because the voice is not gone. The voice is there. He knows what to do. But I think that it's just the blend, how he blends it, so that he's not caught wanting. All right. But the sound for a very for some time, because even Kwame Eugene, who was also another performer, who came after Kim Promise, also struggled with the same thing. Now, if you know Rockstar and you know Kwame Eugene when it comes to stage performances, he's equally or arguably one of the guys to do on the stage. He rarely misses. But even with him, there were challenges. Kwame also had a few flat note moments. He had a few flat note moments where, he had to recover quickly. He recovered quickly, just around, the middle of the performance, recovered quickly, and boom, he was flying without wings. So for Promise and Kwame, unfortunately for them, they didn't really have an excellent performance. I mean, with how, especially with Promise, with the nature of how the performance had been um, described, and some of the things that we were privy to, we were hoping to see something spectacular. We were hoping to have a spectacle of a performance, but unfortunately, that didn't go according to plan, and that's what it really is sometimes. Even for those of us who are into broadcasting, you could rehearse your lines, you could practice your lines, you could pre do your research, whatever, and the cameras come on, and it's just a complete um sorry show. Anyways, so yeah, so I believe the stage was great. The stage was super. The stage was perfect for an event like that, 25 years, big stage, the lights were great, sound had a lot of problems. But I'll tell you something very interesting. When, what do you call it, 1000 and the Fra Band came to perform, they were the next set of performances after or they were part of the next set of performances after Kim Promise and Kwame Eugene. And for some reason, they seem to have overcome the sound situation. It wasn't really a complete victory in a sense, but they were able to win it in such a way that they got the audience up and running. But I'll get to the audience later. Okay, I'll get to the audience later. So people think that um, after 25 years, Charterhouse needs to outsource the production of the Ghana Music Awards to another creative agency because they really haven't been their best, in terms of the barest minimum that is required when it comes to producing such events. But I would like to hold brief for them and let you guys know that it's not that easy. It's not that easy. And we need to cut them some slack because um first of all, you need to also understand that the Ghana Music Awards is for Charterhouse. It's not a national or it's not nationally owned. Let me put it that way. Yes, it's not owned by government. It's owned by a private company. That company is Charterhouse, the same company behind Miss Malika. They've been around for a minute. All right, 25 years producing arguably Ghana's biggest music, or shall I say, Ghana's biggest um, music validator. You know, they've been around for a minute, and you know that they have actually withstood the test of time. When you look at other music award platforms that have not been able to stay consistent for even 5 years. Okay, so we need to cut them some slack. There's definitely more room for improvement, and the room for improvement here is y'all need to open up for experts, skill sets, resources, human and non-human resources, to come in and help. Okay, because I am very much aware and sure of people who are very talented in the various departments around production or various departments of production and have had the doors closed to them. Okay, I think it's about time we open up and work together with other production houses. Okay, open it up. work together with other skill sets to improving on areas that have become a consistent bane to the finesse and perfection of the program. And I'm not too sure why we have to start. When I got into the auditorium and it was 10 p.m. and the show hadn't started, I told a friend, we're going to be here till 4 a.m. Because I mean, do you know what I mean? What that means is you have to rush a lot of things. So even if you want to take your time and do certain things, you have to rush them. And we all know what happens when you rush stuff. You know, there's pressure, there is this, there's that. I hope sometimes we get to know some of these the challenges that plague their production in their post-mortem or their post-production analysis because it doesn't make sense. 25 years, you would think that 25 years they would want to be better. You know, Acha 3 hours, right? Acha 3 hours or 4 hours, we are out of there, right? But if you start at 10, I mean, anyways. So, um, so yeah, I think that needs to be done properly next time. You know, whatever the case be, I keep saying this. You don't have to wait for the numbers to be all rounded up in the auditorium. Start the show. Start the show. Okay, start the show. And let it send a word to those who like coming into such events late. We need to have control of such, situation. That's the only way we can become better. Anytime we talk about fix the country or fix ourselves or whatever, we keep saying that if our leaders are able to do what is necessary and what is expected of them, the citizens will align. So if you are an event organizer, that is why I really love Uncle Bo White for what he's done for his brand over the years. Uncle Bo White has a very simple principle. And the principle is if he says or he announces that his show is starting at 8, right? At 8, he will start, even if there's one person in the auditorium. And he's done that for years. So people know that about him. So you missing out on the part of a performance should be your headache, not his, because he announced the time. So as much as possible, organizers, event organizers for that matter, really need to stick to their timing. We always want to make reference to global citizen and whatnot. The reason why global citizen, with all the splendor and all the excitement that came, the production quality and whatnot, one of the things that people can never stop talking about the fact that it started on time and it finished on time. And that also goes for our artists too. They need to show up early. They need to show up on time. Event organizers need to capture it in their clauses, in their contracts, that you're supposed to appear at this time of the show or at this time of the day or this time of the night. Failure to appear at your call time would result in your advance or your what you call it, your arrears being slashed. Something needs to be done. People need to be held accountable, or else we'll keep deal dallying with the expectations of people who have come from far and near to come and enjoy the product. And you as an individual or you as an organizer, you notice that you know the conversations around your event is just poor press. Anyways, let's talk about the MCs. I was very excited to hear that Chris Arthur was back to host the 25th anniversary. For those of you who have followed the award scheme for a very long time, you know Chris is arguably one of the best MCs to have done or have been on um, the music awards. Same with Na Shoko. But on the night, something was missing. On the night, something was missing. And I can't really pinpoint what exactly it was. But it wasn't the Chris Atto I grew up watching. Um, don't get me wrong. Great command over the English language, great command over the stage, but something was missing. I can't pinpoint what it was. I feel strongly that perhaps it had to do with some particular type of presence. Okay. That presence wasn't there. The aura wasn't there. And for Nashako, I think she was great. She took her time, did what she had to do. Um, I think there was some level of chemistry between her and Chris. Yes. I'm not too sure about Chris and Na, but Na and Chris, I think there was some kind of chemistry there. But there was the energy was pretty low, especially after people had sat in the auditorium for hours waiting for it to start. And to think that, we are behind time and then the the chats became too long, you know. Ideally, you would hope and think that because we have sat in the auditorium for a very long time, we just go right into it, get right into the business. In fact, apologize to the audience and to obviously the people who have come, the patrons, and telling them that we are sorry we are starting at this time, but due to this and that, no apology was given. Nobody is being responsible. Nobody is being held accountable. But you should know that without the audience, there's no show. No apology, right? And instead, it was just long chats, long talks, and yo. So I think on the night, the MCs I think they had a good show, but I wouldn't rate them excellent. No, I think it took some level of excitement from some of the performances that we witnessed that got them to tap into the noise or to obviously the euphoria, but coming from them in terms of controlling the mood, because the audience clap, they don't want to clap, oh. They don't want to clap. The beginning stages of this year's music awards was difficult, I think, for everybody. Sound, production, MCs, opening acts. It was difficult to witness, and it was difficult, even more difficult to sit in. Anyways, let's talk about the performances. I mean, if you ask me, my top three performances will be Afia, number one, Stonebwoy, number two, and number three, I need to give it to Nasi. Oh, brilliant, 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 brilliant. Brilliant round of performances. Afia obviously coming in to do what she does best, but honorable mention going out to episode Komna Komna, Familia, Eno Baroni. Did I miss somebody? Yeah, for that Amachidede tribute. Oh, so beautiful, beautiful. And shout outs going out to Amachidede. Man, Iron Boy still got it. Iron Boy still got it. Now, earlier I tweeted something about the fact that I have been to a number of music awards to arrive at this conclusion that beyond preparation and talent, there is there is there is a level of strategy and intentional lack, all right, that is required from an individual to steer the outcome their way. Why do I say so? Before Amachi Dede went on stage, maybe the cameras did not capture that, but for those of us who were sitting behind him, he wasn't, I don't know what it was, but it felt like he wasn't really ready for it, and I think it had to do with the challenges that came with his microphone, you know. But Showboy, being a showboy that he is, got on stage and immediately flipped it, right? Now, mind you, the Ghana Music Awards audience, this is not based on data and analysis. This is just based on foresight. This is based on the ground observation. The audience there are heavily millennials, okay? They are not your old folks like parents level type of, no, these are millennials, late millennials into early Gen Z type of audience, right? I'm actually the day, the reason why I'm mentioning him a lot is because his ability to read the room, get off the stage or get down the stage, walk in between the crowd, walk in between, pockets of the audience, singing songs that you and I grew up listening to and still jamming to, singing and engaging the crowd within the audience. That for me is absolutely excellent. That for me is someone who knows his craft and has done this for years. Because it could have been any normal performance from Amachi Dede, and we would have probably given him, or cut him some slack because hey, it's Amachi Dede. But you look at what the younger ones did for him as part of his tribute and what he had to do to top it off. That for me was excellent. That for me is what I call strategy. That for me is what I call intentional luck. Intentional luck here could mean that everything that you have decided to do is working for you, whether on the outside or on the inside. It may look impossible. I'm actually they took the opportunity to go into the crowd, sing along with the crowd, sing to the crowd. And for me, the beautiful thing that I witnessed was the fact that it made the production guys enjoy their job, especially the cameramen. I could tell the cameramen and the directors were enjoying their jobs at that point in time because he was able to bring color. There was definitely color. There was definitely color in his performance. And it opened up, the creativity of the rest of the what you may call it, the crew members who were obviously trying their best to make sure that we had excellent visuals in terms of broadcasting. Apart from Match Day, one honorable mention I'll give is Mr. Drew. Listen, this guy is in a league of his own. Okay, this guy can sing, he can dance, he can entertain, he could. I'm sure I don't know about rapping, but yo, that performance spectacular. And I've never really seen a bad day for Mr. Drew. I've never seen a bad day from Mr. Drew when it comes to the stage. He's always been on point when it comes to the stage. And so these two names, Amache Dede and Mr. Drew, will be my honorable mentions. However, my top three will be Efia, Stonebwoy, and of course, Nasi. Now, with Stonebwoy's performance, what else is there to say? Look, if you haven't been to or seen Stonebwoy perform live, do that before you die. After you give your life to Christ, the next thing you need to do is to see Stonebwoy perform live. That's all I'm going to say. For those of you who thought you were enjoying yourself, at home watching it by TV, I have seen enough Stonebwoy live performance, and I'm telling you, you need to see it live. The mastery over the performance, the, the ability to read the room, the ability to glide and ride on, the instrumentalization of his own sound, the attention to detail. Listen, it's so beautiful to see one of our very own because we all saw when Stonebwoy started from the Bafira days. And it's so beautiful seeing him, be a master on the stage. What else is there to say? You need to check out the Stonebwoy concert before you check out. Okay. Um, I've already mentioned Kwame Eugene and Ken Promise's performances. For me, I think they make my worst performances on the night. Um, just wasn't too great. Um, Kim Paluta, Kim Paluta's performance, not so great. But honorable mention going out to the choir. So a choir came on stage to sing a tribute song for departed souls, right? Under the year or in the year under review. And I'm not too sure what's happening there. I'm not too sure why they came. But I think the departed souls wouldn't be happy at all, including the one that composed the song they sang as a tribute. I don't do that again. Don't, don't, don't do that again, okay? Please, let's be serious. Let's be guided. Okay? All right. And you guys want to know, I'm gonna get to the Amare conversation. I want to talk about the audience. The audience they were very stubborn in the beginning, but due to some of the exciting performances that we all witnessed, it actually got them to to wake up. It got them to respond. It got them to stand. It got them to clap their hands. It got them to sing. There was a DJ Black effect as well. Um, DJ Black for me, not that he was bad on the night, at least from my point of view. I think I saw some conversations about people wondering why he kept playing old songs and stuff like. I think it's because the theme is 25 years. He wanted to play songs within that period, But some can also argue that, of course, there've been some good songs, or there've been some great songs, new great songs, or contemporary songs that have come out that deserved a playlist or deserved some level of rotation. But I think DJ Black was fairly okay. But I'm not too sure if he is pretty much aware of the impact or the now impact of Boss Konkotiba. I think with the insights and with the enlightenment we have received, I was a tad bit disappointed to hear him play Boss Konkotiba. Yeah. But what I was excited to hear was him mixing Aziz Aseda with uh, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. So yeah, so I think those were things to look out for. Um, so Amare's unfortunate pull-out or absence from the big nights. I can tell you for a fact, and I can confirm and say that the statement she put out there is exactly what it was. Somebody from the production team who obviously had to be the contact person between Team Amare and Chatterhouse, just failed to look at his emails. That's all I can say. He failed to look at his emails until the last minute, where he noticed that there were some requests or some requirements that were needed for the technical rider. And by the time he would pass that information to those responsible for that, it was a tad bit late. And even for those who received the technical rider, they did not look at the full document to identify the equipment they had and the equipment they did not have. I also can confirm that Amma obviously wanted to, in fact, she was scheduled to have rehearsed or come for dress rehearsal at 11. The team got there at 11 and it was pushed back because of these challenges and everything. And eventually she couldn't rehearse. All right. The following morning, in fact, when we were at the Grand Arena the night before, we were told that they would try to make something happen. They would try to make a few calls, let us know by morning, which was, of course, the Saturday morning, to let us know that, okay, they've gotten the equipment and the resources to make it happen. But it was just futile. It was just futile. And for me, I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed. I was hurt because adwuma na yɛahyehyɛ no adwuma na yɛahyehyɛ no. And for the fact that when I heard Ahmed's set, have you heard Mujibaya Baya mixed with Sad Girls Love Money before? I feel like Chatterhouse did not only rob us, but they robbed the audience of what would have been one of Ahmed's iconic performances on the night. But like I said in my tweets, we go again and we move. Shout outs to Seram, shout outs to Kerwin, shout outs to the rest of the team who held their own in the various departments to make sure that we tried. We tried to get things happen, but it didn't come out the way it was supposed to do. The award winners, I'm not going to talk much about it because like I said in my previous video, this award scheme is based on popularity. It's a popularity based award scheme, all right? Or some would say it's based on popular music. Okay. So that is why the advantage was given to the fans. Although that has been reviewed, I still think that for some of the winners that we heard last night, by a few categories I'll mention here, I think well deserved. I mean, if your artist didn't get it, that means uh, you didn't vote. You didn't vote. You just left the power to the board of the academy to choose whatever they want to choose. Okay. But here were a few exceptions for me that I thought, could have gone the other way, especially for best new artist of the year. I think should have gone to Olive the Boy. I think giving it to Paluta is heavily based on recency bias. I surely believe it's heavily based on recency bias. I think Paluta did work hard, don't get me wrong, but in terms of impact and reach and whatnot, um, Oliver the Boy should have been the guy to have taken him. Time will not permit me to get into the what do you call it, the data and all that. No, like I said, it's already been given. Okay, so I can only make a few comments or make a few or just give it a few commentary notes and then we keep it moving. Best video of the year. I'm still not too sure how cryptocurrency won that video. I mean that award. I think I think Oil on My Head should have gotten a nod. That 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 category should have gone, or that award should have gone to Black Sheriff Oil on My Head. I mean, I don't know how cryptocurrency. I don't know whether it's because of the. Anyways, best international collaboration. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure why it was given to Stonebwoy and Angelique Kidjo. To be fair, um I thought it should have gone to, I thought it should have gone to what you call it, Black Sheriff and Odomodo Black's Water Seasoning. I think that was a brilliant record. Um, yeah. So that's what we got for you guys in terms of my exceptions to every other award that was given. I think it deserved to be given. If you look at the category definitions and whatnot, I think it was well deserved for the award winners. All right. I was really hoping to see Amare pick up the album of the year with what do you call it, Fountain Baby, but and fortunately, he went to Fifth Dimension, which is obviously by Stonebwoy. So Stonebwoy on the night was actually the highest award winning artist on the night. He was the second highest nominated artist of the night, and then he became the highest winning artist or highest award winning artist on the night, of course, with the Artist of the Year category. Stonebwoy being the ultimate winner. Um, I think I think we declared it. We predicted it. We said everything pointed to the fact that he was going to win it. Um, I wasn't surprised at all. But I did admit that it was a fierce competition. Even Stonebwoy will admit that it was such a fierce competition, but well deserved. Listen, without a doubt, well deserved. He overworked. He overcooked. All right, well deserved. And so he would join Sarkodie as the second solo act. Now there's a conversation between him being second or third and Sarkodie being second because there's a Kojo conversation, that he's won it twice as a solo act. Sarkodie also and Kojo, I'm sorry, what do you call it? Stonebwoy. In my previous video, I started the conversation from 2010. I think 2010. Yeah, no, 20, yeah. Was it 2010? Yeah, 2010. So from 2010 to 2023, okay, Sarkodie was the first, yeah, the first solo act to have won it twice. But when you go back the years, um, my good friend Austin is telling me that Kojo won it twice, which is still a debate. But yeah, we'll get to that. So Stonebwoy also adds that to his impressive career portfolio of winning the TGMA twice. Now, he has said that he would want the organizers to announce publicly that on the night of the 2019 TGMAs or 2019 then VGMAs, he was obviously the winner. Now, I think that wasn't really necessary, if you ask me. I don't think that was necessary to have been said in his acceptance speech. I think it was something that could have been overlooked, and perhaps some lobbying could be done behind the scenes. But even that is a non-starter, if you ask me, because the situation was such that it got Stonebwoy and Shatawale banned from the awards. And I think it's something that we need to allow sleeping dogs to lie on. Okay. I think it's something that, because if you look at what led and what transpired and what created and what caused it, I think we should just let sleeping dogs lie and really embrace the new opportunities that come our way. Telling the organizers to announce it publicly, I think it's not in the right order. I mean, especially with what happened around it. Let's sometimes just let sleeping dogs lie. Okay. And I know people are saying that, oh, he was a winner. Yeah, but if you're a winner, you're not declared a winner, you are not a winner. Okay, that's the thing. So you are a two-time TGMA Artist of the Year, and that's fantastic. That is beautiful. I don't remember the last time, a reggae dancehall artist, has chalked such a feat. So a Ghanaian reggae dancehall artist for that matter. So I think it shouldn't have been something to have said openly in public. But all things being equal, one God, our boy, is he's a master at his craft. He is blessed, he is talented, he's excellent, in his givens. Solid guy, and I can't wait to see what he has for us this year. Fifth Dimension has definitely run its course. It would definitely be one of the albums, one of the projects to always look back on and take the opportunity to listen to. But the year has begun for the artists again, and I'm sure the journey to the next artist of the year is already begun. But this is what I have for you guys today. One more thing before I go: the absence of female representation. All right, I feel like if the women are not being nominated for best female vocalist of the year, we don't have enough products to compete or enough products to amplify. It's about time we open up the industry net and let the women thrive. Let the new women thrive for that matter. So that there is balance, there is some level of equality in terms of the entertainment and music that we enjoy. And of course, yeah, yeah, it's very, very important. Anyways, oh, I just forgot that there was also the tribute to Hip Life. Hip Life is 30 years this year. You had T Blaze and Akatechi and Roger Rackstone, Miss Bell. They all came through to perform songs that we love. I think it was a great set, but it was left till late. We were tired by then, but we still had to jam anyways. But yeah, these are the few things that I identified, and I hope it would be worked on in the coming year. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your time here. Let me know what you make of some of the things that I've identified in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like it, share, as much as you can, and be on the lookout for our next upload. Be on the lookout for our next episode right here on the DTS Intelligence Report Show. Okay, the name is Olele Salvador. You can call me Mr. DTS or DTS. You can find me at Olele Salvador on all social media platforms. I'll see you same time in my next upload. Goodbye.